Tasty Thursday time, a local grocery chain offering you a chance to learn more about all the beer you love.
Zupan's Markets recently launched their Beer 101 series. It's an educational tasting experience with an emphasis on the tasting. Joining us on the couch to tell us more about this unique opportunity is Bill Deneen, the resident brewer for Zupan's. Good morning.
Pleasure to be here.
Awesome to have you here. We were talking a lot about it during the break. It's a fascinating idea that you put together here. It's truly beer school. What is Beer 101 and how can people find it?
So Beer 101 was an idea I had about how intimidating beer can be. I have a 40-foot beer wall at my store, and if you don't know anything about beer, that can be terrifying to look at if you don't know what you're doing. So the class is all about just introducing people to beer and giving them a chance to taste some beers and to learn more about beers so they feel more comfortable shopping and buying beer either at my store or anywhere they want to shop for it.
Yeah.
I love that idea of kind of learning more about the different styles because, you know, if the first beer you ever dive into is maybe an IPA and you're like, whoa, not a fan, you know, then you think that you don't like any beer and maybe you just would go for a Pilsner, right? So what do you think are some of the like big misconceptions that people might have about beer that they can learn about in these classes?
I think that's a great point that you just made, that there's so much beer. There are so many kinds of styles and different varieties that just because you've had one or two doesn't mean that you've tried them all. And they range from light to dark, hoppy to not hoppy. You get weird, funky, sour ales, really interesting German-style Hefeweizens that have tons of banana and clove on the nose. So there's just tons of variety out there, and there's no reason to think that you've tried them all. Or, yeah,
that's really neat.
The funky sours are my favorite. I'm like, the weirder the better.
See, I don't do the sours. I'll do the experimental ones, but sours, I don't know. They just don't quite hit my palate.
I love them.
All right. Well, this Sunday is when you're doing your next class on lagers, I believe.
Absolutely.
Now, you've also done previous classes that you said was kind of more of an introductory, like a very grand opening to this series.
Yeah.
But anybody can jump in on any of these classes at any time. You don't have to have started with the one last month.
No, absolutely not. Each of these classes is meant to stand alone on its own. The first class was kind of an introduction about the process and ingredients in beer. The next two classes are going to be dealing with the major styles. So next up this Sunday we have one on lagers. So this covers everything from your light American lager, which you can see on the far left there, which is this one right here from Steeplejack Brewing.
Oh, nice.
And then they get darker as you go along, all the way up to Ahinger's Celebrator, which is a Doppelbock, which is an extremely dark lager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was that much variety.
I didn't either, because I would have looked at that. I looked at that dark one. I was like, oh, that's a stout, you know. And so I would have been wrong. I would have been wrong.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the beauty of the world of lagers, just like the world of ales. There's just a ton of variety, and there's a great opportunity for you to try, you know, each of these beers as you step through. For starting from something light and crisp and refreshing to more complicated lagers.
Is there kind of a defining characteristic that kind of links all types of lagers?
Yes. So why we separated ales from lagers is it comes down to what kind of yeast you use when you're making your beer.
Okay.
Lager yeasts ferment a lot cleaner. You result in a crisper, generally lighter bodied beer. So that's kind of the common thread between all these beers. So you've had stouts and things like that before, but a Doppelbock, is, even though it's the same color, is much lighter in body, but similar kind of flavor profiles.
Okay.
Coffees, chocolate, that kind of
But
thing.
it's not that you take one gulp and you're like, I'm full.
No,
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really neat. So if somebody wants to sign up for a Beer 101 class, where can they find the tickets, and then what does that include? What all are they getting in this?
So you go to zupans.com and go on to What's New, and that'll have our events page. And you get sign up. We're doing 9 beers. These are the 9 lagers that we'll be sampling at this class. You also get to taste some charcuterie, which our wonderful cheese department puts together. So cheeses, salami, these wonderful cuicos, which are like a Spanish version of like a dried nut. That's like the saltiest, best salty beer snack in the world.
I was going to say, those are like primo beer nuts.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's exactly what they are.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then you know, get to hopefully learn and have a good discussion. The class is usually about 2 hours, from 2 to 4 on Sundays, roughly once a month.
Okay.
And hopefully you'll learn something and get to try some great beers and have a good
worst case scenario, you just tried some beers and some good food. It's not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a bad way to spend a Sunday.
Totally.
Absolutely. Super fun. No, we were talking about it. I'm like, I wish we'd had these classes in college. I would have signed up for
that one I could have done. That would have been a good elective.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool to learn about. Hopefully we gave everyone a little teaser today. Wet your whistle, and you can come out on Sunday and learn all about lagers. Bill, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great to talk with you, and cheers So lots of learning here happening at Zupan. So if you're interested, if you want to check out Beer 101, there's all kinds of sessions coming up. The next one happening Sunday, March 19th. That is the session on lagers. Ales is coming up in April. Beers of Germany in May. You can see the full lineup and get your tickets. They're $40. Go to zupans.com to learn more.
All right, you can raise your glass to that.